coaches, and team representatives. We've got, at the minute, we've got 6 out of the 8 teams represented here, so that's great. And I have had apologies from the 2 that aren't. They have been trying to get somebody on board. I think they're actually got basketball coaching commitments. Let me just get rid of that. Okay, so just a little bit of housekeeping. As you probably just shared, we're recording the meeting to keep a record of the meetings. It's up to you if you want to leave your video on or off. Please keep your mics on mute, and then unless you want to ask something, if you would like to ask a question, just raise your hand in the actions or type in the chat box. That's fine. So some introductions to the committee that is organising the Basketball Wales National League. So I've taken on league director role, James Morgans. We've got social media officer Jamie Thomas from up north. We've got commercial officer Kate Gordos, who's also involved with the main part of Basketball Wales. And we have officials officer Dan Cox, who's going to obviously take charge of all the officials for the league. And then we have South Wales Basketball Association representative Ryan Chambers, and North Wales Basketball Association representative Joe Robinson, and Mid Wales rep Lee Coulson. So I just wanted to do some team introductions. This is entirely up to you if you want to just open your mic and shout out who's here for this team. So we've got Cardiff Archers on as our first team. Who is?
Yeah, that's me.
That's Steph.
Rosier. I'm team manager for Archers for the Basketball Wales National League.
Brilliant, thanks, Steph. Mole Magic is myself. That's my own team. So I'm representing here tonight, as I am still waiting to appoint a team manager. We have RCT Gladiators.
Hiya, this is Angela Williams, team manager of RCT Gladiators.
Brilliant, thanks, Angela. We have Aberystwyth basketball, but Aberystwyth Warriors, which they're all there. Thumbs up. Too many of them to shout out. We've got Cougars.
Yeah, that'll be me. Hello.
Thank you very much. We have Celts, who have not got anybody on unless they've come in yet, but I don't think they have. And then we have Tribal Basketball.
Yeah, that's me.
That's me,
Team manager,
which is
player,
John.
coach.
Yeah, everything.
Is that?
Brilliant. And then we have Raptors, and again, I don't think anybody's come in for them yet. They were struggling to get anybody in with basketball commitments. Okay, so thank you for the introductions. We can move on, but it's not going, it's frozen. There we go. So as BWNL, we have a vision: Wales as a strong fundamental foundation in basketball with 2 well-established and competitive local leagues. BWNL want to connect the country, and that's quite important, and provide a Premier League for teams in Wales. Welsh basketball clubs now have an elite outlet for their players, coaches, and officials. And then we have some aims. Let me just move my panel. So our 3 aims at the minute are to become a sustainable and self-funding league by 2024, to develop a BWNL Women's League by 2024, and to develop a BWNL Under-18s League by 2024. A lot going on, ready for 2024. Okay, so just looking at some rules, policies, and procedures for the league. So just jumping to the bottom of the page, there's a link there for Google Drive, and I will send, as well as you know, this is recorded, but I'll send you the link all via email, and the link will take you to a Teams folder. And in the folder are some documents. So in the documents, we have an official rules document, which was out for everybody to look at and has now been agreed and settled on. There was one change which sent out the second version of the rules, whereby the National League players, so a team can have up to 5 National League players for England National League, sorry, in their squad for any one game. So the next game, those 5 National League players could be different National League players. The teams that have National League players for England need to register all their players at the start of the season and note which ones are England National League, because they're only, as I said, allowed 5 per game. There will be an official team handbook, which is in the process of being finalised. It'll just be a PDF document, as the same as the rules document, but nice and easy to open up on your phone if you need to get to any quick information. Social media policy is tagged with the rules document at the bottom of the rules document. Player, coach, and official and team follower registrations. So there's no separate registrations this year for Basketball Wales National League. On speaking with Basketball Wales, we agreed that it would just sit under a Basketball Wales registration, but most of you should know that by now. So as long as you get all your players registered with Basketball Wales, and if you have a cohort of players that you're going to play throughout the season, and get them all registered up front and get them done. And then the fixtures document is on that Google Drive as well. So that is there. We'll talk a little bit more about fixtures in a minute. Officials for game days. So the officials for table are to be appointed by the home team, and you can use your club volunteers or your club officials for that. The referee team will be nominated by Basketball Wales and sent out by Basketball Wales and appointed to the game. Pre-game procedures, there is a document in hand being made that will be put into the Google Drive file for all teams. So there'll be a pre-game procedure sheet and there'll be a post-game procedure sheet as well. Okay. League and game costs. So you all should have had your surety fee invoice now from Basketball Wales. It's a £300 surety fee. That fee will be paid back to you at the end of the season if you don't wish to continue into season 2. If you do wish to continue into season 2 and no fines or anything have been sent to your team, then that £300 will just transfer over to the second season. And I'm sure there will be no fines issued throughout this season. There's, as I said earlier, there's no player or team registration this year, so all is under Basketball Wales registration, which is great because all the teams are playing, because it's one of the rules. All the teams are playing in the South or North Wales leagues. So there's no additional cost, which is obviously going to help the clubs. All officials costs, that's table and referees, is being covered this year by Basketball Wales, which again is a massive help for clubs, because we all know that referees and table officials costs can mount up for home games. So as I said, Basketball Wales will appoint the referees and they will be paid for as well by Basketball Wales for this season. Going on forward, we will probably that will probably be slowly reduced by Basketball Wales, and then we're looking to get some sponsors throughout the season, or definitely for next season, to sort of start to make that more sustainable. Home courts should be booked for 3 hours, allowing traveling teams 1 hour warm-up time. And I haven't got that on there, but then team sheets, this will be in the post-game, pre-game procedures. Team sheets are to be handed into the table 30 minutes before the game is due to tip. There are fines, as I said previously, included in the rules document, but I'm confident that these will not be required. Okay, so we've been trying to shout quite a lot on social media with the run up to the start of the league. We've got the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts running, and we're getting really good responses on those with the media that's being posted. We're quite fortunate to have had John Smith on board, who is the professional photographer for Wales FA, and he did a webinar for us. I don't know if any of, not sure if any of you guys attended that, but there was a few clubs attended with their media or photographers, and it was really well responded to. And John Smith is getting involved with the league and is going to do some work with some of the volunteers in the clubs to make sure that we're getting some good images and video captures of games and stuff for socials. We also have Jamie Thomas on board, who is our social medias officer, and Jamie does a lot of freelance work with the FA as well on social media, and with the BBL and with FIBA. So we're hoping that through our socials this year we can really attract some good sponsors, and Kate is on that at the minute, and aiming towards that first aim of to make the league sustainable and to grow the league over the next couple of years. So there will be there is a social media policy on the rules document, and Kate is putting together a media subgroup on WhatsApp. And what we would like to do, this will be a separate subgroup. So if you're fortunate enough to have a good volunteer base, and maybe you've got somebody that's going to take charge of social media, somebody that's going to take charge of a video in the game and photography, then perhaps they could sit on the subgroup with Kate and Jamie, and they're going to just sort of outline a few things around not how you promote your games, but more to make life easier for everybody's videoing in the same format, or everybody's using the same position for videoing the games, and just to make things easier really, and look consistent, that will benefit, I think, for attracting sponsors. Okay, so some dates to consider. So game schedule officially will be announced on socials a week commencing the 27th of September. The schedule that you guys have got now, which was the version 2, there was a change from version 1, and the version 2 sits as only one long travel for everybody, which was a suggestion from one of the clubs, which works out well, and I hope that suits everybody. Nobody else came back to me, so that's set now. So you've got the official fixtures there. Games can still be changed. You just need to coordinate that with the traveling team and the officials officer, sorry. So that can be changed if teams are stuck. I know 1 or 2 teams are still considering their venues, and I've told them that they need to get that done ASAP. And it might be that the Sunday game that we've scheduled might be played on a Saturday, and we have room as well, considering that there potentially, I'm not saying there will be because I don't know, but there potentially could be a fire break around October time, or issues with COVID with some of the facilities still in Wales. Then we're only playing once a month this season, which is, gives us plenty of time to maneuver games before the next month game comes in. Team interviews week commenced the 27th of September. So this is something we're going to try and do for our socials, and get some really, it'll be really short stuff. It's really short interviews with the teams, seeing, what their thoughts are on the upcoming season and how they're getting on with preparations for the season. Basketball Wales National League Officials Conference, 4th of October. So we've already had the Basketball Wales Conference, official officials conference. And we're just going to do a short, and it will be a short one. Dan's going to put together a short officials conference for the Basketball Wales National League, just so that the officials that are joining the league understand the expectations of the league and are clear with everything. They might not have attended the Basketball Wales one. First set of games, 10th of October, so that weekend should see the first set of everybody's games, which is so exciting. I'm still trying to get everything organised for our club. I know, I'm sure everybody else is still doing it. We're still struggling with spectators at the minute. I've got to write a new risk assessment for spectators for the centre. So pre-match reminders for each game will be posted on socials 1 week before by Basketball Wales National League. Post-match full-time scores will be published immediately after games, and then top 10 video highlights from the games will be posted 3 to 4 days after each game. So we're really, really trying to, as I said on that last couple of slides, shout about the league, get it out there, get as many views as we can on social media. Tag, if you're posting stuff, tag Basketball Wales National League, tag each club in it, and the more views we get, the more chance we've got of getting a really good high-profile sponsor for the league, which will, just help everything grow and obviously reduce the cost for you guys, because basketball is such an expensive sport with the facilities and the officials and everything else. Okay, so that's pretty much. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but that's pretty much all I have to really get over to you guys at the minute. Are there any questions? I'm quite happy for people to now just pop their mics on if they want to ask a question, and I will try and answer as best I can.
Hey, James.
Hi, Matthew.
How's it going? I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Tip-off times.
Yeah.
So we usually it's on a Sunday. Tip off around 4:15 p.m. Is that too late for traveling teams to get back? Obviously.
I think I sent out in the email that tip-off times needed to really be between 1 and 3.
1 and 3, okay.
3 being the latest tip. That would mean that the game should be wrapped up by 5. And for example, if we were traveling down to you, we could probably be back by 9 o'clock then.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
On a Sunday, which is, it's that's doable, I think.
Yeah, no worries. The other one is table officials. So do you need? You need 2 at level 2? Is that right?
Yes, it's 2 table officials at level 2.
Right.
Unless you guys, we haven't implemented shot clocks this year, so we haven't said you must run shot clocks this year. Yeah. But that said, on a chat with Dan Cox, if anybody wanted to run shot clocks and it's something that they've got, I know, for example, Archers have got a really good volunteer base there, and they have a lot of people around games. So if you wanted to run shot clocks, then yeah, get the practice in, and then further down the seasons, we might sort of say, right, we're running shot clocks now, because we want to try and make the league, each year up the professionalism of the league.
Cool. Yeah, no worries, man. That's all I got for now.
Brilliant. Any other questions there? If you feel that I haven't sort of covered something whilst giving my little presentation there, then please jump in and ask, and I'm sure we can outline that for you. I'm still waiting for these 6'8" to come across the screen, but they're not coming.
Hi, James. Sorry, did you say an hour warm up provided before the game?
Yeah, well, it doesn't necessarily need to be an hour's warm up, but if we've got the course booked for 3 hours, then I know the way we'll run it is we'll have 3 hours, we'll have 50, we'll use 15 minutes there to set up, and then at least as long as the team's getting at least 45 minutes. I think it's more so for the teams as well that are traveling the distance. Is that
Yeah,
work?
so
Seth?
just a reasonable amount of time. I'm just saying because we have multiple games, sometimes they run over. Like, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
so-
50 minutes, but I mean, it might not just be an hour is all I'm getting at sometimes.
Yeah. As long as it's 100% over the half an hour period for the sheets to be handed in, and
Yeah.
then I would say closer to 45 minutes for teams, especially if if it's. I'm sure if it's hunters are traveling to you guys, then they're not going to want to probably be there an hour before anyway. But if Honest Mon Celts are coming down from Holyhead to you guys, they probably want to stretch their legs a bit.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else there? We've got quite a lot of experience between all these clubs. So if there's any questions or rather suggestions, then please feel free. It's definitely, I definitely want this league to sort of run with everybody, having some sort of contribution and being involved in how the league develops over time.
Yeah. So with the games and the socials and stuff, what about live streaming a game? We've got a young guy who's come in and he's helping out, and he's started taking over our Facebook stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a place to live stream a game if we so desire? Is that?
Yes. Well, I think what we're looking for is that all games are live streamed.
Yeah. Right.
And the purpose of that subgroup will so this chap that you've got who is going to do the live stream, so if you can get him on the subgroup,
Yeah. Cool.
then Jamie and Kate are going to sort of direct all those volunteers on what we really want, where they're gonna live stream to.
Yeah, because he uses Instagram and stuff. I never used it in my life.
Yeah. So yeah, if you can get him, I'll send the email out
Cool.
for the subgroup for asking for details of who they are, what their mobile numbers are. We'll get them added to the subgroup, and then Kate and Jamie will direct them on really where to put it and how we want it. That'd be great. And yeah, the more we can, definitely let's live stream the games. I'm assuming some clubs and facilities might be restricted for the time being on spectators or number of spectators. So getting it out there for people to see the games will be great. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. No worries.
Okay. Last shout then. Anybody else want to jump in with anything? Okay, cool. Well, I'm really excited for this league. It's been I've been wanting this to happen at Welsh National League for a long time, and I'm really looking forward to traveling around Wales, coming and seeing you guys at the home venues, and making a success of this league so that season 2 and onwards just builds and grows. Look forward to the league. Good luck to everybody in the league. And if there are any questions that you haven't got at the minute and you can't think of and you want, just drop me an email on the National League. I think it's National League at Wales. But I've already emailed you all anyway, so no problem. Okay, thank you very much for attending, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Cool. Cheers, James. See you.
Thank you, James.
No worries.
Might see you soon.
Yeah.